Hi everybody, so in today's video we're going to be reviewing how to graph a solution to an inequality on a number line. Now, I want to start by reviewing with you some of the special symbols that we learned. So the first special symbol that we learned in this unit is a greater than symbol. When you see a greater than symbol, you're going to use an open circle and you're going to shade to the right. The second special symbol that we learned is a less than symbol. When you see a less than symbol, you're going to use an open circle and you're going to shade to the left. Now, the reason we're using open circles for both of those is that we do not want to be equal to that number. There's no equal to symbol underneath. And we're shading to the right or to the left based on whether we want to be bigger, which would be to the right side of the graph, or less than that number. The third symbol that we learned was greater than or equal to. So this symbol is very similar to the greater than symbol. The only difference is that for greater than or equal to, now it is okay for us to be equal to that number. So instead of using an open circle, we're going to use a closed circle and shade to the right. And the last symbol that we learned is less than or equal to. And the thing about less than or equal to is that we do want to allow ourselves to be equal to that number. So we would use a closed circle and shade to the left. So here are some example problems of how you might do this. If I wanted to show for problem 37 all of the numbers that are less than the number 4, the most important number on this graph is the number 4. So I would label the number 4, and then I would label one number that's lower and one number that's higher than the number 4. Now I want the numbers that are less than the number 4. So I'm going to put an open circle because there's no equal to, there's no little underline underneath the symbol. And I'm going to shade to the left because on a graph, when we want to be less than, we go to the left side of the graph. That's where the smaller numbers live. For the next example, you'll see that the problem is written a little bit differently, where the x is not the first thing. When that happens, the first thing that you want to do is flip this problem around so that the x is first. When you do that, you flip the order and you flip the symbol. Now, on this graph, the most important number is going to be the number 4. And I'm going to graph one number that's lower than that, as well as one number that's higher than that. Now, when I flipped this, the new symbol is a greater than. So I'm going to use an open circle because we're not supposed to be equal. And I'm going to shade to the right side of the graph because that symbol became a greater than when I flipped it. Next, we want to graph x is less than or equal to the number 4. Again, the most important number on the graph here is the number 4. And we're going to graph one number that's lower and one number that's higher than that number. Less than or equal to, I'm going to use a closed circle because now I'm allowed to be equal, and I'm going to shade to the left because on a graph, the numbers that are less than my number are to the left side. And last but not least, if I have x is greater than or equal to the number 4, the most important number is the number 4. And I'm going to graph the number 3 and the number 5. Now, greater than or equal to, I'm going to use a closed circle because I want the numbers that can be equal to the number 4. And I'm going to shade to the right because I want the numbers that could be greater than that number. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck on your practice and your retake.